What's the matter with you, huh? Subscribe already!
This is the first car video I've done in a hot ass minute, but we still got some things to talk about, and the thing I wants to talk about today is this whole idea of recasting T'Challa for the Black Panther role. I know I haven't really spoken out about this at all, and that's mainly been because I thought it was too far away from anything dropping for me to really speculate on it. That is no longer the case. Kind of right around the corner, November of this year, so the fact that this movie is still coming out in 2022, SpaghettiOs, our lead actor died, and he was beloved by the cast and the fans and everybody. So now we either have to recast the role of T'Challa, or we have to fill the role with somebody else, most likely Shuri. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Both sides have an advantage and a disadvantage. Recasting in general versus filling the Black Panther role with somebody else. If you have Shuri play the role, that's not bad. I like Shuri in the movies. I think Letitia Wright does a great job. And I have read the comics where she filled in as Black Panther for a while. She became the Black Panther, and that was great. That was some really solid ass storytelling, Marvel ass comic books right there. However, for various reasons, it was never going to go down the way it did in the comics. There's just way too many different circumstances. The character of Shuri herself even is so different now in the MCU than she was in the comics then, that I'm not even sure if that would even be a fit if they tried to do a one-to-one recreation. I don't know. I really liked it in the comics. Not sure how I'm going to feel about it in the movies, but I am open to seeing it. I definitely lean more towards that one than a hasty recasting of T'Challa. When Chadwick first died, I was completely against it. I was like, retire the role with the man. We don't need to see no more T'Challa until like the MCU is over. And they're just like making another standalone Black Panther movie like 10 years from now or something. I since have accepted the fact that yes, Chadwick was a phenomenal actor. He really embodied the role on and off the screen, kind of like how Robert Downey Jr. did with Iron Man and Chris Evans with Captain America. I'd even say on the level of a Christopher Reeve as Superman, where just in his day-to-day life, when he's at events or giving speeches or doing some ceremonious thing or just interacting with kids and fans and stuff, you really get the feeling that this man is regal and larger than life, just like T'Challa was, and he really owned that role. He made it so iconic. And so, yes, of course, with his passing, you're going to have people who are like, they just don't want to see him recast at all, and I do think to an extent, when you have an actor die in a role, especially when it's as iconic and impactful as Chadwick Boseman playing T'Challa, a hasty recasting is the absolute worst thing to do, because then it's just going to come off as, oh, they don't give a fuck. And I mean, let's be real here. It's Disney. It's Hollywood. It's a corporation. Of course, their main motivation is money, but they can at least give the illusion of caring more about this great soul that's left this earth and say, hey, we're going to give Chadwick the respect he deserves. We're going to honor his legacy. We're going to respect the fans because we know you guys love this man. We're going to respect his family, and we're going to let some time pass. I'd say 3.5 to 4 years. If they want to recast T'Challa, which I do now think would be the right thing to do, and even Chadwick himself had this attitude of, the role is larger than just the one actor who's playing him, and that includes Chadwick himself, so he would want to see the story of T'Challa continue. And it sucks that Black Panther's story now potentially has to end. He didn't even have time to shine. We've seen a lot of dumb shit in Phase 4 around mantles being passed. After Phase 3, we already know what the name of the game was. It's okay, these old guys, they had their time, get their ass out of here, get the new, more quote-unquote diverse people in here to fill their roles as fast as possible. It made no sense. It still makes no sense. It's still one of the dumbest things they're doing in the MCU, but at least the legacy guys, the old heads, the ones who literally made the MCU what it was, had a decade or more of time to shine and develop and really become ingrained into not only the MCU, but into just cinematic history. They're the reason why the Avengers are now a household name and people are like, X-Men who? You know, you can thank Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans and Scarlett Johansson and Chris Hemsworth and all those guys, because they laid the work and they made these characters just own the entire universe. Okay, so while it sucks that they're gone, at least they had a solid amount of time in their roles and in this cinematic universe so that they can now bow out, and the actors can choose to bow out. Either their contract's up or they're ready to move on to other projects, you know, and they just say, okay, it's time. And then they write an awesome way for the character to leave. I still think Black Widow got the shaft, but that's a topic for another day. Those guys, while they are getting their slots filled in a way that I think is hurting the MCU way more than helping, the OGs at least had their time in the spotlight. Black Panther only been in 4 movies in the MCU. He's only been in 4 movies. One was his intro in Civil War, which was great. Second was his movie, which was also great, and also a culturally defining moment. You know, Black Americans, we just showed up and showed out. I saw it twice in theaters. Every single time it was standing room only. Second time I went with a big old group of friends, and the folks that got there late, they just had to sit wherever. But we had that, and it was great, and it was awesome. And then he was in Infinity War and Endgame, and that was just glorified cameos. So he had 1 introduction movie, 1 movie of his own, and 2 guest appearances. And his little piss-ass episode in What If? No, man, that is nowhere near enough time. Filling the role with Shuri, I think, is probably what they're going to go with, if I'm being realistic. If I want to put my little tinfoil hat on, I honestly think they already recast this man and just ain't said nothing because they know that the internet would explode. Phase 4 of the MCU is already sucking major donkey dick, and this is only gonna make stuff worse if that's what they actually did. It wouldn't even matter who they got to fill the role. Just the fact that they did it right away, like they didn't even wait for this man to go cold in the ground before they like, all right, get another one, get another Negro in here. Come on, we got to fill this role. Come on, we know they crazy for the Black Panther. So shouldn't we wait? You know, at least a little. What do you mean wait? Wait, we got this movie to put out. Come on, man. But sir, you know they're gonna flip out at the announcement. Okay, don't make an announcement. Don't say shit. Just drop the trailer and he's in there. We need the maximum amount of asses and seats. That's what I think they did. That's honestly kind of what I think happened, if I'm being completely 8,000 with y'all. I think they secretly recast T'Challa and just ain't said nothing. They just gonna drop the trailer one day and he just gonna be in there. But I know they ain't gonna do no deep fake bullshit. I don't think they're even that stupid. My logical mind is saying they're gonna just have Shuri fill in the role, having killed off T'Challa off screen somewhere. Please God, again, don't do no deep fake bullshit, not even for like a 2-second death scene. No. Just don't even put him in the movie if this is what you're gonna do. And my conspiracy side is saying they done already recast this man, and they just ain't said nothing. But what do y'all think's happening? You think we just gonna get Shuri as Black Panther? Do you think they recast this man in secret? Let me know what you guys think. Either way, thanks for watching and listening. I'm Anime, and I'll talk to y'all later. Deuces.